The Boston Globe reports that in 2010, the state of Massachusetts spent over $155 million to provide free legal representation to poor defendants. Governor Patrick proposed a plan that would change the public defender system to make it cheaper and more efficient.
Right now, the state subcontracts the representation to 3,000 private lawyers. The governor's plan would shrink that number to 1,000 lawyers employed by the state full-time. Experts say there are two major problems with the proposal. The first being quality of representation.
It's important to keep in mind that it is a constitutional obligation for the state and the federal government to provide indigent legal services to a defendant charged with a criminal offense. If you're going to incarcerate people, the law requires, the Constitution requires that they have adequate representation, adequate, zealous representation. And you can't necessarily do it for a bargain basement price. It just can't be all about the numbers. You have to be willing to pay for the system that you want in place.
The other problem is that the proposed plan doesn't account for all the financial factors. Under the current system, private lawyers are charging $50 an hour to the state for their representation. $50 an hour may sound like it would add up to more than the salary of district attorneys. Collectively, the DAs averaged just under $48,000 in 2007. But in addition to their salaries, the district attorneys are provided with office space, a pension, and health insurance for themselves and their staff. All of these costly services create overhead for the public defenders that the DAs typically don't have. This is why Representative Cleon Turner thinks the proposal is intended as a conversation starter.
I'm looking at it as a research project that the governor is really doing to see what needs to be done, and believing, in my mind at least, that he hasn't made any hard and fast decision. And it's a good conversation to get started, it really is. I mean, we need to have conversations on a lot of issues affecting state government if we're going to make changes that are economically sound decisions to make. So yes, it's a great conversation starter, and I hope the conversation is vigorous and results in some good changes.
So, while this proposal is unlikely to be approved, it could become the foundation for a lot of changes in the state judicial branch. For Boston University News Service, I'm Gauthier Giacomoni.